All right, shalom, shalom. Peace, Israel. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Let to give double honor to the elders, apostles, the great millstone, teacher will well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful love scattered abroad. His brothers are coming from Prophets in Babylon camp. I come at you with another lesson. What it means to be tried in the furnace of adversity, and what it means to really be in the furnace of adversity. You know, enduring the furnace of adversity and what it means, to be in the furnace, So, bring us out this book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2 and verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right? For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. We are that gold that's tried in the fire. All right? We are that gold that's going to be purged when the Lord comes back. Okay? Because in this flesh right now, on this side, we are not acceptable men. This flesh is corruptible. We all are worthy of death. But bring it back to the point is gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. What does it mean to be in the furnace of adversity? First, you have to know what adversity is. All right. So I'm going to grab this. Adversity, the definition of it is difficulties or misfortune. Now, we're going to be gold is tried in the fire. Let me grab this. It says, no. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So we're made acceptable by being in the furnace of adversity. And adversity, similar words for it, is hardship, distress, difficulty, suffering, affliction, sorrow, misery, heartbreak, heartache, tribulation, woe, pain, trauma, torment, torture, a stroke of bad luck. You got an upset, a shock, a catastrophe, a tragedy, calamity, trial, cross, burden. Now, mind you, in the times we're coming into, brothers are about to go through, even still now, brothers are going through hardship, distress, disaster, sorrow, misery. Are anybody else in this world going through that stuff right now? No. Brothers, believe it or not, we're going through the furnace of adversity right now. When you standing firm for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, all right, you already starting to go, from the time you learn the names, and you're eager to, I know the names of the Lord, I want to go preach, I want to do this and the third, you're already going through the furnace of adversity, already, without even knowing it, right? Because it's already that target on your back. The Lord already set you up. Okay, you know my name now. I'm a requirer of you. Yes, the Lord going to slowly but surely add more on it, but you got a target on your back now. Now, that furnace, that affliction, that adversity that you're going to have to go through and endure, that's now. That is now, But I'm going to bring it back because now you see what adversity is. It's all types of bad things, sorrow, heartache, heartbreak, You basically preparing for the worst things, What does it mean to be tried? What does it mean to be in adversity? How are you going to endure, For gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Now, let me bring this. It's the book of Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. That 2 parts is talking about the 2/3, And those 2/3, they aren't in the furnace of adversity right now. They're not enduring in the furnace of adversity. They're Salakia, right now, they're having the time of their lives. They're happy, they're smiling. They're doing what they have to do. So they're not really in any adversity. Not yet. At least not yet. But it says, but the third shall be left therein. All right, the third is talking about that 1/3. Now, Zechariah 13 and 9, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined. All right, what fire? The third part is talking about the 1/3. It says, I will bring them through. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. Now, what fire is that talking about? The fire of this adversity right here. The opposite of adversity is good times. The opposite of adversity is good times. The Lord is going to bring that 1/3 through trouble, difficulty, hardship, distress, disaster, suffering. The main point is because that is the furnace of adversity. Before we can be who we truly are, you have to learn both sides, good and evil. All right. The roll is sweet and it turns bitter. You learn you're an Israelite. You learn we're gonna get a king. We're gonna get spiritual power. Now you got to go through the adversity part. You gotta you're gonna have to deal with family members, people in the world that you called your friends. Switching on you. The whole nine. The Lord is gonna put you through the furnace of adversity. And what are you gonna do while you're in that furnace? You just gonna burn up and shrivel and that's it? No, you're gonna come out a whole new man. You're gonna come out a whole different person than how you were before you came in this thing. But you have to endure. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh is my power. All right. It says, and I will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. Oh, no, so long. That's not the part I wanted. It says, and I will refine them as silver is refined. And how is silver refined? How is and silver and all of gold refined? They have to go through a furnace. And a furnace is not just light. It's heavy. Literally. And the definitions right here says torment, trauma, torture. That's not torture and trauma. Those aren't light things. Trauma can be very traumatic, life altering. Makes you look at life in a whole different light. You look at things very differently. You don't look at things the same no more. So you gotta constantly realize, okay, the Lord is gonna put me through this furnace, but how am I gonna endure in this furnace? What does it mean to be in this furnace? Well, it says, let me bring this out. Ecclesiasticus 2:2 says, set thy mind, all right. It says, and constantly endure. It says, and make not haste in the time of trouble. All right. Make not haste in the time of trouble, and set thy heart aright. That heart goes into la'ab, meaning your mind. Set thy mind aright, and constantly endure. Constantly endure what? Constantly endure the setbacks. Constantly endure the stroke of bad luck. Constantly endure the burden, the blows, the issues, the trials, the calamity, the catastrophes, the hell, the hell on earth, the hard times. Constantly endure, because this is all part of our walk, being in that furnace of adversity. Because when the Lord comes back, we're going to have to be certain men, certain spirits to get on them chariots, brothers. We're going to have to go through adversity. We're going to have to endure the hardship of that furnace of adversity. We're going to have to go through the furnace of adversity. The furnace of adversity is all the hard times and the hardships that we're going to have to go through. The fact that we are soldiers for Yahweh Shemashai, we're on track, on path to be servants for Yahweh Shemashai, and we want to be of the Lord and of the Lord's elect. That number that already shows you we're already starting to go through the adversity. We don't want the things of we don't want the things of this world. We don't want everything else that everybody else have. We want something bigger. We want something better than that. All right, it's even bigger than that. So you must endure. You got to set your heart all right and constantly endure. It means set your mind straight. Set your mind, your focus, your spirit straight to go through this furnace, because this is not going to be no easy walk. It's going to be a hot and very challenging walk. But we rather go through this fire now, this furnace of adversity, than go through the actual nuclear fire, because that nuclear fire is going to be even worse. All right, I'm gonna end it off with this, brothers. Because the point is really made. 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Right? We're going through this furnace of adversity, right? How are you going to endure? It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. If you want to endure in the furnace of adversity, you must give diligence. If you want to endure in the hardships and the times that we're coming into, you want to really be a part of this furnace of adversity, you're going to have to give diligence. Okay? You're going to have to be on it, man. All right? Because when you on it with much, roughly paraphrase, with much knowledge comes sorrow and grief. the more you give diligence, the more your furnace is going to get hotter and hotter, because the more stuff you're going to know. So more is going to be required of you, But it says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. All right. If you give diligence, and you're constantly focused on the Lord, you doing what you have to do, you're never going to fall. The furnace is not going to overcome you. You're going to overcome the furnace, and you're going to come out as that silver and that gold. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Like I said, silver and gold, they need fire. Fire is a purifying agent. That furnace is really nothing but a purifying stage, purifying us into who we actually need to be. As stern men, because in the world, a lot of stuff goes on in front of our faces as men, and a lot of people either think it's a joke or think it's just something light. When really, people try the average Israelite man about 100 times in a day if they could. So the Lord is actually making us open our la'ab, making us open our eyes and our la'ab, which goes into your mind, like actually making us realize, okay, this world is not for us. We're of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We must endure the furnace of adversity. What it means to be in the furnace of adversity is enduring all the hardships that's coming, enduring all the hell and all the trouble, that's coming with the knowledge that we know. We must stand firm for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and there's nothing more, nothing less to it, But Lord, when this lesson was edifying, I'd like to give all glory on our praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Chakodash. Double honor to the elders, apostle, great millstone, teacher with well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful that scattered abroad. Until next time, I do say Shalom. I'm Bobby Paul.